Hello everyone, my name is Sheldon and I'm a Rosco and Sigma ambassador and filmmaker, and this is the Cinematography Challenge sponsored by Rosco and Sigma. We're here in LA to essentially nerd out about cinematography with a heavy emphasis on color, lighting, and optics. Today I'm joined by DP and fellow Sigma ambassador Elle Schneider. Hi Elle, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Tell me a bit about your background. How'd you get into cinematography?
When I talk about how I got into cinematography, I tell people that I came from the Dario Argento School of Cinematography. That is, I learned how to light by buying clamp lights at Home Depot and putting really thick, heavy party gels and using colored lights for almost every light position.
Okay.
So that's something that I'm always super excited about, is working with color, and that's one thing that has been amazing as a DP working in this new LED heavy environment, is that there are now so many easier and really exciting options for colored fixtures.
What kind of stuff do you work on, just out of curiosity?
I do a lot of work in music videos, some television, short films. I have a feature that's on the circuit right now, so I tend to work more in independent film because I like stuff that's cool and crazy and weird.
Okay, so we have a couple of quick rules here to get out of the way. You're gonna select one theme, movie type or film, and here's just a couple of the options that you get to pick from. From there, you have 30 minutes to light a single sequence using any Sigma Cine prime lens and primarily Rosco DMG Lights available to you. Why 30 minutes? It doesn't matter the size of the project. We've all had that moment where we just have to get it done and get that shot lit quickly. I'm gonna be here to help with the setup as well as the team from Sigma and Rosco. So that's it. We hope this series will be fun and hopefully a bit educational, because the best way to improve is to test and try new things. All right, so here we go.
All right.
Pick your subject, maybe stir it up a little.
All right.
Yeah, don't look, that's key.
Trying to do it really fairly, guys.
Please do.
Okay.
All right.
And it says Noir.
Ooh, Noir.
Fancy.
Okay, so Noir, this is a big one. Outside, we've set up a whole table filled with Sigma primes. We have a few Rosco DMG lights out there, as well as a couple filters. It's, yeah. It's a whole bunch of goodies. Should we go out to check it out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. So Elle, I know you're super familiar with the Sigma Cine Prime lineup.
Yeah.
We have everything from 14 to 135, and we have a bunch of focal lengths in classic as well. Really kind of fun, vintagey feeling characteristics, lots of flares, low contrast, still honestly reasonably sharp as well. You have my personal filter kit here.
Nice.
If you want to, no pressure. We have some dashes out. There's a dot accessory, which is cool because it works kind of as a practical on camera as well.
Yeah.
And then this is the quad kit with the dashes all stacked together with the DOP Choice softbox. And this is a mini. And then we have a variety of other Rosco products as well. So do you have a favorite focal length you want to try first?
Yeah, I think I'd love to drag into the 35 Classic and the 28, because with Noir, something that's usually, the space plays such a big part in how everything looks. I kind of want to start a little wide and see where we end up.
Okay, all right. I will grab the 35 Classic and let's get to it. Your 30-minute start when we get in there.
Okay.
All right.
All right, well, I mean, I think the key to Noir, right, is contrast.
Definitely.
So I think we're gonna start with putting one light overhead just to give us kind of a straight, hard beam.
Okay.
And then turn off all the other lights and start playing. So I think what I wanna start with, I love those little dash lights, and I also would love to stick a bunch of them up top there to start giving us some more sort of backlighting.
How many do you think, like 4?
Probably 5.
5, okay.
5 would look good.
All right, if Team Rosco can help out with like 5 dash lights, I think that's a new record for dash lights being used on Cinematography Challenge. That's cool. All right.
We're gonna just stick them up on the top ledge there.
Okay. Great. And so you said you wanted a light in the ceiling. What?
Yes.
So like a harder light?
Yeah, just a small hard light that can kind of give us a moody beam coming straight down.
Okay, so we have
So we can set up the
Dana
Dana Dolly, And I'm kind of actually thinking something where we might be able to establish the space a little bit, kind of like tilt down and dolly in at the same time.
Like
and
the
see how
beginning
that
of
goes.
some noir scene,
Yeah,
like the first shot. And so we'll just leave the camera on the Dana Dolly for now, but back a little bit. So
yeah, and then just I think for fun effects,
okay.
throw another hard light outside with a gobo on it because that can give us some more interesting textures to throw in here.
Any particular flavor of gobo you're feeling?
Blinds. You know,
Blinds?
I think we'll go real traditional to start with.
So this is Sheldon. He's going to be our actor and model on camera here.
I would love to kill the house lights. I feel like,
Okay, yeah,
do we think we're lit enough in here to kill the house lights?
I think we can. Yeah, Sheldon, why don't you get that? All right, so everyone moves safely. It's getting darker. Awesome, okay. Madison, if you can hit power on that guy, thank you. All right, so in terms of camera settings, you're at 5600 Kelvin, you're all the way open T2.5 and 800 ISO 2398. Anything about that you want to change?
I'll probably go to 4300 to go a little bit cooler.
Okay.
Would be interesting, you know, I think we kind of get an interesting twofer here. We can kind of pull a Del Toro and George Miller and give ourselves a traditional black and white noir look and then see what that looks like in kind of a more futuristic noir look that gives us poppy colors.
I love that.
But I am curious whether it's possible to monitor in black and white for this. Can we bring it up to full saturation and lower intensity and see what color we're at?
What gel number is CD yellow?
Grape mustard yellow. I think it's color 7.8.
And then, do we have the ability to control the intensity of this light up
that
here?
overhead? Yeah.
Can we cut it by like 20%?
Emily, can I get you on this side? Lacey, how are we doing on time?
So you're at 16 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay, you got all the time in the world. This is looking great already. What are you thinking? Talking out loud.
I feel like our light up there is spread a little wider than I'd like. I'd really like kind of more of a focused beam. I would love it so that when he's standing here, we're not getting a lot of light on his face. And right now we're getting a lot of light on his face. Yeah.
We can cinefoil wrap that.
And I would love to put the dash with the dot on the hook of the lower one, if we can make that work. So Shawan, I think what I'm gonna start with is you back here with a drink. So probably just fill it a little bit with something and start with you here. The idea being that you should be, hopefully, fairly kind of silhouetted over here with light falling here but not on your face.
Okay.
And then we'll have you walk into the light here and find this light and then kind of come over here and put the cup down and look at your vast New York Times collection.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Great.
Cool.
I have ideas.
Nice.
You do? Good. Okay,
Nice.
so 11-minute mark. It's a descent into madness. How's that haze level, Elle?
That's good for right now. So one thing that I would love to do is trying to see. I kind of would love to get him a little bit more silhouetted there. So I'm trying to think whether that means angling off that hard light outside a bit so that's not hitting him as directly. Do you see? Shawan, take a step back.
Okay, so Harris, can you pan the outside light left?
Yeah.
And Zach, can you please give Shawan a mark for optimum profile? Thank you.
I would love to, again, we'll see how we can do this while not throwing too much light onto the scene, because I kind of like what we have set up here.
5 minutes left.
I'd love to take that
Five
extra mini and kind of put it over here on sort of a low intensity warm tungsten.
It feels like a noir like character reveal. Like you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go for. Again, in an ideal noir scenario, you would not have any white walls because that's sort of bouncing some of the light around. And I think one of the cool gritty things that they did a lot with noir is, you know, they were using exterior streets at night, things where they could really have that like grit and darkness and texture in the environment around them. So it's interesting recreating that.
This needs a lower stand. I don't know, Al. We're running out of time for this one. Doing my best. Kill it. Okay, that one's dying.
Just leave it right there.
Oh, it was good there?
Just leave it right where it is.
Okay, walking away. But it's still on. You want it on?
You can just leave it right there and walk away. So
Amazing.
Let's move this guy over. Let's hug it right up to the slider. Yep.
Okay, you have 42 seconds. Okay, we got some stand action. Pull that out. Okay, let me turn off the mini, please.
Alrighty, I think we're good.
That's perfect timing.
Oh, that's time. Okay, 30 minutes. You did it. Okay, so yeah, congrats. This looks great. Very cool. Okay, Elle, so 30 minutes are up. Now we do the shots. All right, here we go. Well, congratulations. That was clearly noir. I thought it looked sick. How are you feeling?
I feel like we made a really moody little thing there.
we made a moody little thing. Exactly. So walk me through kind of what you're going for. Would you have done something differently given more time? What do you think? Or are you totally happy? You can be 100% happy too.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting is that because noir is so often about pools of light, having more time would allow us to place more specific fixtures and areas where, like, you know, the crunchiness will have blacks overlapping blacks and things like that. So more time would give us more separation, but I feel like we did a pretty good job of having little areas of light that Siobhan could walk through to just make it seem like something devious and uncouth was unfolding.
Oh yeah, something bad was going down, absolutely.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about just where you were placing your instruments, kind of why that was. You were talking about pools of light. That was evident kind of in the middle of his path. There was a pool of light. He was in kind of profile at the end, right?
Yeah. So in this space, it's kind of interesting trying to put together a noir because you have a big white space, so a lot of light bouncing around. So I tried to stay directional where I could, and also use brighter, softer lights as backlights or sort of in the foreground to not like flood the space with a light, but to have very specific areas of light. So using just a mix of different styles of light to kind of control the look to the degree that we can in the space.
You know, I thought that was one of the more inventive uses of the dot that I've seen. I mean, it kind of started there for a moment. You also, honestly, generally, Elle, you pivoted really well too. I mean, you had a mini in there, and then you got rid of it at the last second, and then you changed up the blocking too, which is not always something that DPs have control over, but I know you direct quite a bit, so you feel comfortable doing that. And is that kind of how you're used to working on set, sort of feeling it out, or do you like staying up until 3 a.m. like diagramming everything based on 5 hours of pre-scout the day before?
I tend to not diagram, but I usually have the luxury of not needing to do that because location is a huge part of how I shoot, and especially with TV, you're doing a lot of pre-scouting if you're shooting in any like practical existing locations, and in that way you're able to sort of figure out which of those spaces is going to work best for what you're trying to do. So for me, that makes things a lot easier because if I see the space, you know, one of the things that's trickiest, as I just mentioned, with a space like this is that it's a lot of white walls. So if you're going for something stylistic, you really have to, your number one priority is keeping the light off the wall to the degree that you can. Whereas, you know, in a historic home where everything is wood paneled, you're not going to get that same bounce back, for example.
It's almost like a little bit negative fill, honestly, that
Exactly,
dark wood.
exactly. And so that, especially when you're doing something really stylized, is something that I would pay a lot of attention to in location. And for me, I feel like choosing the right location is like 50% of your cinematography battle.
Oh, 100%. And you bring up an interesting point, like working with the locations department, working with the art department.
Yeah.
I mean, in LA, we're very lucky. We have all of this Art Deco architecture that just kind of lends itself to you picking noir.
Yes.
We didn't end up in an Art Deco building, so you really made it work.
Yeah, it was fun.
There you go. It was fun. Well, it was fun for us too, and thank you so much for watching this episode of the Cinematography Challenge. Elle, thank you so much. Don't forget to follow Rosco and Sigma on social media. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.